Oh no. That music's pretty sad. Oh, we were just not supposed to be on this screen. This screen's better, right? Way better? So, how many people do we have online? Do we have anybody? Oh gosh. I don't have an IDE opened. I'm supposed to be doing a stream for a boot camp here. You want me to switch IDE? Can I switch? You're enjoying the music? Oh, you want... I was watching a video earlier. So, you know. But, yeah. Usually, right about now, people from the boot camp usually are online, and they can tell me all about themselves. See, I'm wearing my DevPoint Labs hat because they like me to chat about boot camps and such. Well, I mean, I can use VS Code if I actually code. Or maybe... You know, I got a voicemail from a place trying to get me to stay at the Hilton. I'm excited about everything! I'm always excited. Do you hear this music? This is very exciting music. Oh yay, now! Oh my gosh. For game face. Gamey McGame face. Is that what that's supposed to say? Gamey McGame face? That was fours? Are boot camp people? Are the boot camp people here yet? Jason, I would expect you to play the drop game. I think that would be very interesting to you over, my screen just shut off. Gamey McGame face. I figured it out. Over redeeming your infinite, bits. See, look. I can drop things. And I win every time. I always win. How come... Okay. You didn't even make it. I won and you fell off. And you should be able to do emotes. Like, you can do drop, and then you can do, like, random emotes. Well, there's... Oh, I guess it wouldn't work for me. It doesn't work for you. I have to reset it first. Reset. Anyway, if you are from DevPoint Labs, it didn't reset it. Reset drop? Maybe it's reset drop. If you're here from DevPoint Labs, let me know. Drop Gopher. I don't have an emote called Gopher. There we go. Drop more. See, you missed the target again. You have to hit the target. Ayla Rock. See, look, the Gopher emote worked. And I land... Oh. Ayla Rock landed closer than I did, but Numeno didn't make it. Gaming McGameface is here from DevPoint Labs. Anybody else here from DevPoint Labs? Say hi in the chat so I know you're here to say hi in the chat. Charlie Murphy's here from DevPoint Labs. Welcome. Drop on the target. Drop bounce. I don't know, like, I think there's like a drop help where it like tells you like all the secrets to the drop game. All I know is drops, and then the emotes, and then Mori Ruska. Mori Ruska, welcome. I hydrated for you. I think I'm the only one. I think only moderators can reset the drop. And to be fair, I'm kind of scared to make Jason a moderator. I added that. I added the stretch. Did you see that? I added new things for you to click. You got closer that time. Isn't drop so fun? Yeah, I guess if you don't have Twitch, you can still view. You just can't chat. But I am on the DPL Slack. So if anybody who can't comment in chat wants to like make a channel and invite me or do whatever, yeah, feel free. You like my this is my Gopher Goku shirt. It's from the Go West conference. Mr. Kilgore Gaming, welcome from Dipple. Let's call it DPL because Dipple sounds weird. Sounds super weird. What's the point of drop? It's a game. So a whole bunch of people compete to see who gets the closest to the center of the target. There's a target, you just can't see it. See, there's a target. That's the whole point of the game. Is just to see who can get the closest to the target. It's just a fun chat game. I guess there's other ones too, but I haven't quite figured out like all of the fun chat games to make chat interact with me. So yeah. Welcome, all my friends, to this special edition stream, because I never stream on Mondays. Ever. I never ever stream. Oh my gosh. How do you get the closest to the target? I think it's random. I think it's random. Poop is not an emoji. Well, it is an emoji. It's not an emote though. It has to be one of my channel emotes. Like the ones from my channel. Or another one that you subscribe to, I guess. Like, see, like, that's my dog's head. Look, mine's not even getting close. Report. Why are you what did I do? Oh, you're banning me? See, this is why I don't trust you as a moderator. Because you would ban me from my own channel. Anyway, my camera will be back on in a second. But welcome! Welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking today a little bit about some of my side hustle work. I should say it's Numeno's side hustle work. It's not. I don't think he does much anymore. Oh, I have to reset it and then you can do the robot. Reset drop. Okay, now that I reset the game. Well, that's not how you spell reset drop, huh? D. Oh, that didn't work. Was it reset drop one word? Reset drop. Yep, that reset it. See, now it's reset. Theanyway, so today we're going to be talking about a little bit about how, there's my face. How the dev community in the Utah area, and really all dev communities, but mostly my dev community, you reset me, thank you. How mostly my dev community enables people. So as you can see here, we got all these fun slides. This is me. I got 2 dogs. I am a data reliability engineer. When's your last day? My last day doing what? My last day on Twitch? Never. My last day doing meetups? I don't know when you take them from me. I organize meetups. I'm on this Twitch, obviously. This is my Twitch channel. I'm also on Twitter, if anybody's on Twitter. You can also find me on LinkedIn as the Mariah Peterson. So yeah. Usually I start talking about why you go to boot camps. Oh, the last day of my current employer, May 6th. May 6th is the last day with my current employer. Thank you for loving my dogs. Last time on my stream, my dog literally climbed onto my lap and took over the stream, so sometimes they do that. Today, they're a little bit more relaxed. We usually talk about why you guys choose to join a boot camp. Usually it's to get a better job or to get more money. Sometimes people are just bored. It's a better deal than college. Oh, there's a dog under my feet. I found a dog. So boot camps are great. But like, my whole argument, my whole things that I implore you to understand while you're playing the drop game today is that the developer community should... My music is loud? I just turned it down. Oh, it's because my mic is so far away, too. Now my mic's right in front of my face, and you should be able to hear it a little bit better. Is that better? Because, like, my camera, my sound's at, like, at 8%. My music. I just really like to have music. Is that better? Is that better music? Moriuska? That better music? I mean, or I should just sit up and talk loud. Anyway. So, yeah, like, the tech community, not much. Oh, boo. I mean, I could turn off the music completely, but that's no fun. Anyway, I guess you guys think it's fun. I don't think it's fun at all. But whatever. Jess. Okay. Moriuska. Jess. Anyway, so what's a community? We all know what they are. It's you and your friends hanging out and doing stuff you like. I mean, that's kind of the point. My camera, my screen keeps turning off. What the heck? Why is my screen connection timing out? Gamey McGameface's name is Steve? Hi, Steve. So, like, the whole point is to make friends, right? But I guess part about being the in your tech community is there's lots of side effects of being in the tech community. Like, Jay Numeno gets to come troll me into drinking more liquids on Twitch. You learn a lot of stuff. And you get to meet and network with people. Like, you can meet and network with people online. It's totally possible. There are a lot of people I know exclusively through online interactions. I've met people on LinkedIn. I've met people on Twitter. I've met people on Twitch. I've met people on Slack or Discord, and I only know them through those mediums. And that's fine. That's a great way to leverage community. And that's one of the reasons why we have social media. But there has to be a balance in all things, and I think there's a lot of advantages to taking part of in-person communities as well. They give you just a whole bunch of different opportunities. And so that's kind of what I want you to think about today. I know, like, when you're in school and stuff, like, it's hard to be a part of them, but you're graduating soon, and the next step is going to be finding a job. And finding a job, and once you have a job, it's very important to keep learning and continually leveling up your skills. And that's what community will help you do. Right? So, like, in communities, in meetups, in activities, both a lot of them virtual now, you get workshops on technologies. You meet people who are experts in certain fields, people that work in things all the time. You see demos, you see companies that work in them. I'm almost tired of seeing how companies do things. There are so many conferences I get invited to where all it is just companies talking about their products. And I'm like, I don't care about what your company says. The next degree. What's the next degree after a boot camp, Numeno? Does it go boot camp certificate? Boot camp Udemy certificate? Like, what's next? I know, like, for you being a PhD holding doctor, it was definitely like master's degree, PhD, post-grad CTO. Like, that was the path you took. But I mean, if it's boot camp, then the next step probably would be meetup, right? Like, boot camp meetup. That seems like the next appropriate step, right? Anyway, but, like, you get to see a lot of things about how software is being used in the real world, and that's the only thing. The only way to see that is either at work or with people who currently work in the software industry. At meetups, Bootcamp 2.0. Oh, is that your... Bootcamp 2.0 sounds like some startups out here that hire, like, I think if you find a software company with a Node backend, those who can't teach, if you find a company with a Node backend, that's called Bootcamp 2.0. So you're correct, Numeno. Those do exist. Those who can't teach Jim. That's very accurate. You're right, Gaming McGameface. So let's talk about gaining skills. I want to say that I have learned more from meetups than I have through any other, through community and stuff like that. You get to ask questions and people tell you things. Like, you can ask questions about how to post delayed messages on Slack and people tell you things. You can also ask questions about how to write certain kinds of functions, how to use inheritance, how to do object-oriented programming, how to do networking, how to use Kubernetes, how to do Docker. I ask so many questions about Docker on Slack. Like, that's like the number one thing that I ask questions about is how to do Docker files and Docker containers. And if it wasn't for the Forge Utah community, I wouldn't know how to do it, and I wouldn't be able to learn and gain that skill. If you go to a meetup or a conference, you can talk to speakers about things that they've done. You can talk to them about the languages. You can talk to them about software. You can talk to them about machine learning. You can talk to them about npm packages they've written or maintained. Like, there's all kinds of fun stuff you can learn by interacting with people at these meetups. And and if you learn them, then you add them to your resume, and then you're worth more money. See, it's like, that's the one thing about software, is it's all about how much you learn and how often, like, your learning cycles. Because tech is always changing. It's always like, the landscape's always changing, and so you have to be willing to change with it. That's what makes software such a hard industry to work in, essentially, just because of how often it's changing. Let's talk. So communities help you find jobs. Almost every meetup I go to, the first 5 minutes are dedicated to who is hiring. Every conference I go to, there are booths where companies are saying, come talk to me, I'm hiring. We have a very there's every Slack I'm a part of or Discord, they have a channel exclusively dedicated to posting jobs. And the benefit of using these avenues versus your traditional job board is you can ask the person who is in front of you, who created the post, or who is sharing that job link, about the company. You can ask them what the job requirements are. You can ask them sometimes. You can ask them about the interview and how you need to prepare for the interview. If you need to, what kind of tech you need to know for the job, and the kinds of career development opportunities there are at that company. Some startups don't have the same amount of career development opportunities that larger companies have, like the ability to attend conferences or purchasing books, online courses. And those things matter when you're starting out, because you need to be able to learn not just on the job, but from your job. And let's talk about what's called the interview pipeline. In lots of tech companies, you have recruiters that are in charge of filling up a pipeline, and then they're in charge of scheduling it. They interface with hiring managers and talk about skills and all that kind of stuff. And they basically go first in, first out if they're going through any kind of traditional sourcing platform like a job board. But if you can get a referral from somebody who already works there, or you talk to a hiring manager at a meetup or something, that gives you the opportunity to skip places in that pipeline, right? You might get a priority when interviewing. You might get a priority in the phone screen. You might get other opportunities, essentially, that give you access to a job interview or an opportunity to prove your skills that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise through traditional application means. And, I can't emphasize the importance of that. Every job I've gotten since my first job has been because of a meetup or some other kind of access to a community. And they also use that community to validate me as an employee. Say, hey, how is this person's references? Does she know what she's talking about? Oh, has she participated in discussions or talks? The kind of like Slack overflow. Is she sharing code? What kinds of contributions is she making to this community? Or, etc. Meet new people. And yes, the kinds of conversations you have in communities are irreplaceable. You will find yourself talking about the newest tech. You'll find yourself talking shop. That's what they call it, which is some of the most interesting tech conversations you'll have. And you'll learn more having conversations with other people than you could ever learn reading blogs or researching it on your own. Just because of experience. Also, they'll make recommendations and they'll say, oh, this is stupid. Or they'll say, oh, don't do that. Don't share this tweet on Twitter. It'll end up hurting you. Like, invaluable advice. You can learn about new tools. You can't tell you how many times I've seen people hacking together through communities and stuff like that. So how do you get involved? Go to a meetup. Just go to them. I have a meetup tomorrow night, the Machine Learning Utah meetup. Where's our Forge meetup? Forge, Utah, we'll go to meetup.com. Meetups were not happening for a while, and they're definitely happening again. So you should definitely go to all of the meetups. I have a meetup tomorrow on Kubeflow, if you haven't heard of it. I'm sorry. It's a tool for pipelining, machine learning pipelines. There's lots of other tech meetups. I have a lot of Go meetups because Go is the best programming language. As you can tell by my Gopher shirt, Go is the best programming language. Machine learning, Utah, I did not know that I subscribed to Utah Women in Agile. Salt Lake City Python, Silicon Slopes, Utah Agile, cryptocurrency. If you go and you just go Salt Lake City, and then you can actually search for tech meetups. Tech Talks Toastmasters Club. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. San Francisco Mature Women in Technology. I thought this was, it's online, gives you a lot of access to things. I know there is what is it, Utah JS in New Minnow, if you're still there. I think Utah JS is one of the ones he's aware of. He also does the PHP one. See, Utah JS is a big one. Utah Big Data is a big one. I didn't know that there was a Freemasonry meetup. But this is this one is a big meetup. They've got 1,000 people subscribed. They have a very big Slack community. So if you have any questions about JavaScript, this is where I would go. First place I would go. If you're interested in software at all, I would go to the Go meetup because it's the best meetup. And we're doing lightning talks, which everybody should go to. And you could come give lightning talks about all your favorite thing. And then there's no requirements that the lightning talks have to be about Go. Nobody ever made that requirement. So there's that. And that's, we also have the Forge Foundation, which is a nonprofit I am a part of, one of the founders of. And we host several conferences and meetups. You can click that. You can join that Slack with us. Very active Slack with a very active job board where we talk about all the things. From software to Twitter. Meetups in Vegas. Well, I have never gone to a meetup in Vegas. I know they have a lot of conferences in Vegas. But, where's my thing? We could look. If we just change this to Las Vegas, Nevada, and we do a category, environment and community, no, science, education, no, we just do technology meetups. No, Las Vegas. Not Las Cruces, Las Vegas. See, you've got Link Up Las Vegas, Tech Alley, growing your blog. Oh, a roller skate night with NFT. Startup pitch, game dev, monthly meetup, Macintosh user group. Las Vegas Python. Ooh, crypto. There's a .net. Oh, these are in the Redlands though. The good news is though, Kilgore Gaming. is a lot of them have remote options. For example, all of our meetups, all of the Forge meetups, have remote attendance options on Twitch or on like Meet or on Zoom, so you can attend it remotely. Very common. And almost every meetup has a remote attendance option if they're not online, which allows you from anywhere to basically attend. Like, we have people who attend our meetups monthly from India. So, and there's a 12-hour time difference. So they'll just get up at like 7 in the morning and watch our meetups. Thank you, Kevcore, for that follow. Oh, well, that person in Las Vegas, feel free to, oh, my camera froze again. Feel free to, just join online. You should also check out local conferences. PyCon USA, which is the biggest Python conference, is in Salt Lake City this week. It is that's a huge deal for Salt Lake. And they, that's all Python topics, from machine learning and data to web apps to, what else do you do in Python? Open source. Mostly just web apps, right? That's what Python's really big for. There's the Go West conference, which is about Go, React Rally for React users. There's also the big ones, like reInvent or Next. And a lot of them are online. There's a lot of online conferences. And I've met a lot of people at conferences. Oh, did we skip a slide where I showed all my friends that I've met at conferences? See, this is me. And this is, I have, these three people have very big Twitter followings, so they're very important people. They're huge in the Go community, and I met them all on Twitter, and then we meet up at, conferences and stuff, and that's how we hang out, and I can learn from them, and they can learn from me, and, that's just how, communities grow. And, if I need a friend to give me a referral to Google, I know who to talk to, because one of them works at Google. So it works out really well. So, yeah, I think you should join that link, that Slack link that I sent you. Come hang out with us on Slack. And learn about the jobs we have. Learn about the tech we're using. Lots of talk about microservices, Kubernetes, Go, back-end stuff. We could use more front-end conversations. We can always use more Python, PHP conversations. I wanted to get the Utah JS meetup to be part of our stuff, but that wasn't up. That I don't know anybody in that community to talk to about getting them to join the Forge Foundation, so there we go. There's my camera. So, yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? Again, Slack's just fine. Feel free to hit me up on Slack, or drop it in the chat, and I will, or you can just play drop, right, in the chat. Whatever works. Any questions for me about meetups, community, how to get that first job, how to keep your first job, what it's like to work in software, all of the questions. I'm here to answer them. What it's like to work for a startup versus a not startup. Yes, Jay Numeno, I'm here to answer your questions. What is it like to work with Jay Numeno? Always exciting. That's what it's like. It's always exciting. Any other questions, comments, jokes, follows? What is it like to have to clean up someone else's code all day? That is a great question, because that's literally all any software developer does. I feel like we don't write our own code as much as we clean up other people's code, and then we give it a fun name called refactoring, which makes us feel like we've actually done something worthwhile, as opposed to just rewrite. I mean, is it as fun as writing something from scratch? No. But it does give you the ability to add things like stability to services. It allows you to make softwares more viable and more scalable. So I think it's I don't know. I like to refactor code because I like to make systems better or services better. So question number 2 from J. Numeno. This is fun. What do you call a number who is the sum of 2 cubes in 2 different ways? I don't know. Can I Google that? That sounds like a weird question where you have to have a PhD to know the answer to that. And I don't have a PhD. The sum of cubes? Oh, they're called, a cube number is a product of 3 identical numbers. No, that didn't help anybody. Math stack exchange. Per the answer in the number theory it's called a taxicab number. Do I have an example of such a number? Oh my goodness. Well, do you want an actual example of a number, or does this proof work for you? Oh my gosh, rising. The sum of 2 cubes. How do you get access to the Slack group you mentioned? It should be right here with the Slack command. That's a great group to join. See? Taxicab. I don't have an example of that number, but it seems like this is one. Is that good enough for you, Numeno? Taxicab number. Oh, look! There's a Wikipedia for it. Taxicab number. The nth taxicab number, typically noted as TAN or taxicab N, is called the nth Hardy-Ramanujan number. List of meetups I recommend. Yes. Utah.js is it depends on your interest. So, like, what kind of interests do you have? Knowing what you've studied at your boot camp, I would start with Utah.js. I don't know of a Ruby group where they actually do Rails stuff. So Utah.js is a good one. There haven't been a whole lot of Salt Lake City-based meetups recently. I know Salt Lake City Python is starting up again, and so is data science, Salt Lake City data science. Anyway, if you're just looking on making connections, any meetup will do just fine. Yeah, Utah.js is a big one, right? So that's a good one. All of the Forge Utah meetups are the best. So Utah Go, Kubernetes Utah, Machine Learning Utah, Python at the Point, user group. What is DR? I don't know what the DR user group is. Um, what other meetups? I mean, like, the Utah... Yeah, I guess those are the big... A lot of... There used to be, like, 20 or 30... Downtown Ruby user group. Oh, so there is one. Okay, that's a good one. Like I said, there used to be a ton of meetups, and they're slowly coming back. You're gonna... Oh, you finally got it. 92.68. I guess, is that, like, how far away you are, or how... Like, your percentage. Like, would 100 be, like, 0? You did so good, Jane Umeno. Uh-oh, Charlie Murphy's gonna miss. You landed on my hand. The stream should be like 11 seconds behind for you. There is a delay. And it should be like 20 seconds, actually. So I'm surprised. You must have really fast internet to make up for that speed. Oh, we're still on taxi cab numbers. What other meetups are there in Salt Lake? No. Oh, do you hear my dogs? None for Monday. See, I'm hosting a meetup tomorrow, and then another one again on Wednesday, and the next Tuesday. These are just my events. Back to... Oh, those are just the ones I'm saving. I am not going to Birds Without Borders. WordPress, I don't recommend that one. Any type. See, look, you can do online. Uh-oh. Tech Talk. I've never heard. Utah Data Science. QA at the Point, if you're into QA or testing. R, DevOps, UT. I think that one meets in Salt Lake. Oh, that one meets online. Duh, I'm only searching online. And a lot of these online meetups have supplemented Slack or Discord for what, like, a lot of the, like, chat. Hi, Lulu. How are you, Lulu? Like, we used to do a lot of, like, chat after the fact, and Slack has kind of come to replace that. Do you see the top of my dog's head? She came to say hi. Did you come to say hi, Lulu? Say hi, make some new friends. Say hi. Say hi, I'm Lulu. I'm a good dog, huh? I was barking, so I came to see my mom. She was the one that climbed on my lap and took over my stream on Friday. Yeah. Oh, pretty dog with pretty teeth, huh? Yeah. Yeah, do you want to tell everybody that she says she's very glad that her mom's a software engineer so that she can have good food and good treats, huh? You like good food and good treats. Huh. My goodness, now I'm messing with my camera. Hey, Lulu. There we go. Hey, Lulu, you're so pretty girl. See, she's trying to get her head on camera again. Attention. She's an attention hog. What do you need, baby girl? She doesn't even know. What else do we got? Oh, this is still Las Vegas. I don't live in Las Vegas. They used to do Orem, Utah. No, this is Women in Agile in Salt Lake. See, Salt Lake City Data Science, that's online. See, I told you, a lot of these are still online, which is the benefit, right? Like, you can go to any of them. Utah C++ programmers. The Agile User Group. Utah Kubernetes. Utah Go. Free Code Camp. See, Utah JS does a lot of free Code Camp stuff. Blockchain Dev Utah. Oh, they're doing a temporal lunch and learn. Interesting. And that one's in person. In Provo. That's really close to me. But I think I'm busy on Thursday. Software craftsmanship. Never be afraid to go to one that seems to be like at a higher level. Like, it doesn't matter. You can always ask questions and people will teach you. And sometimes it's the more experienced engineers that you want. They can serve as mentors. They're the greatest people to have in your network. They're best for answering questions. Rust for Stations book review. AWS meetup. Man, you guys should be listening to my music again. Can you hear my music yet? It's so good. See, I don't think there's any more software meetups. Now I'm just like... Oh, the software architecture meetup. That's still happening. Is that still... That's in person, too? Who's talking about syncing data between microservices? Keith is. Interesting. They do a lot of them at there. So yeah. Any more questions? Who knows? Any questions? Yeah, but they can chat to me. Cool. Can I do a handstand? No. I really cannot do a handstand. I would probably fall on my face. Numeno, did they get your permission to use the picture of you here? I'm very curious. Do they have your rights? Well, I didn't go to boot camp. I have a degree in physics. So I finished college, went to graduate school, and then dropped out of graduate school because I didn't want to spend that much money just to learn a skill that was not going to help me in the job market, because turns out a PhD in physics does not help you get a job. So, after I dropped out of graduate school, I just started applying for jobs. Like, that was honestly my first move. After I got my first job, I started attending meetups. And that's how you ran into each other. Oh, you both made it. I thought Kev Core was gonna knock Charlie Murphy off. Anyway. So, I didn't start attending meetups until after that. But it became very evident very quickly that meetups and the connections you make at meetups help you in the job market. Like, I was almost immediately after I started attending meetups, I was recruited to my second job, and like I said, from there, speaking and such after that has enabled me to the sacrificed Sela. Guys, you're doing so good. I think 66.7 is the closest to the center. So good job, Sela. Is that how you do a prolonged H? Is just... I was gonna talk about that. Thank you, Mr. Kilgore. Like, are there speakers? Okay, sorry, let's start with Kev. Sorry if you already talked about it, but what happens at a typical meetup? There's lots of different ways to handle meetups, but the ones that I usually go to, usually end up with there being a time for announcements, and then a speaker. Sometimes they'll have lightning talks where you just do a whole bunch of really short talks. Sometimes at other cities they'll have the meetups will be 3 hours and they'll like have 2 speakers. And then usually after that, you just start networking. So you'll chat with the speaker or with the host, other people there, and learn about what they're doing and kind of what brings them to that meetup, what piques your interest. So I mean, that's typically, it's like some kind of a presentation with food and then chat. Sometimes they're like, let's just meet over lunch and chat. I do not have a lot of good experiences with those kinds of meetups. I do like the organization of having a speaker first, kind of guides the conversation. Mr. Kilgore says, what are good ways to impress an employer if you don't have a lot of projects? For me personally, I find it really hard to just come up Yes, so Law's right. Just learn about concurrency, gRPC, and Go, and then you'll have a job. So I struggle coming up with ideas for projects. Like, I just don't know what to build. A good thing to do is just start committing to open source. Like, let me just say, if you, like, your activity on GitHub, oh, look at how bad this has been. You can tell when I take vacations. So your activity on GitHub means a whole lot more necessarily than like the number of repos you have. So if you, I mean, this is a pretty active GitHub for some things. This only shows my contributions to public open source repos. So yeah, just find. So if you don't have something you want, you can, like, thank you. My throat was getting dry. It's great. Just find a project that interests you, and they'll usually have issues you can work on, right? And for example, we have this project right here. It's a Twitter bot that hooks up to Discord and Slack. Well, it will hook up to Slack. That allows members of our community to leverage some of the social media assets that Forge Utah has. And notice how here there's a bunch of issues. Some of them say good first issue, some of them say help wanted. They talk about what they are, and then they'll have, like, list of requirements and stuff. Then usually you can find things, they'll have, like, repos or lists or stuff. And so that's a good thing to do. Like, so if you have some kind of MP library for first issue. I'm sure you can Google that. Wait. No, not a package. Good first issue. Look, like told you, they would have a tool for finding, like, first issues, or somebody would have a list or something. So, like, yeah, just find a tool, an open source one that you use. Apparently Twitter, the algorithm is one. CERN, SSO. So yeah, any open source tool you like. And then see if they have issues, and if there's an issue that you can help on. Like, that's a good way to get started, a good way to join a community, and a good way to start contributing to open source. And working on those kinds of projects, those kinds of big things. I don't know any NPM projects, so I don't know, but, like, open source projects for first contribution. If you're interested in learning a new language, this would be a great way to do that. See, I told you there would be a repo. So this is literally a repo that tells you how to make a first contribution. And tells you how to do that, what to go from there. Do they have, like, a list of, open source programs that you can contribute to? Yeah, see? So any of these things, it looks like you can contribute to them. And just find issues and start going from there. Or you can do the issues on the Forge Utah project, which I'm totally chill. If any, like, that's one of the things I want us to start doing at Forge, is having open source projects that have good first time issues, and creating a place where people new to software can get experience working with more experienced developers. So Jason Emery's, thank you for that. Yes, it's very common out of a boot camp that you will end up in some kind of technical support role. And if you do, make sure that that company does have a path forward. A lot of them do, and a lot of companies are very good about making sure that you have a way to get into that software engineering position. And they just want you to work up. They want you to prove yourself. See you, Charlie. Thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of projects, you might have to prove yourself a little bit in customers, like in a support role or a technical support role. But there will be lots of opportunities for working on little side projects or finding little ways to automate and like just, you know, getting your name out there so that when they're ready to look for an entry-level position, you can get promoted from within, which, I mean, a lot of companies in the area do that. It's super common to do that with bootcamp grads. Especially because you all have the same projects and the same skill set. I mean, if you do work on projects outside of that, then you'll tend to have an advantage. But it's hard. It's hard to find time when you're doing school and working and, you know, all the other stuff. So yeah, people are taking off to their part-time class at 6 o'clock. Which makes it dinner time for a lot of us. If you're in Utah. So yeah, oh, you're welcome. I hope you all got some benefits out of this chat. I hope I answered all of your questions. If I haven't, reach out to me. Twitter, LinkedIn, Slack, email. Do I have that? I don't have my email on here, but I do have the other ones. Forge. I think it's Forge. Oh, edit. Slack. Invite. Apply. Like what kind of, like a test? Like you have a leveling test? Is that industry standard in Turkey to have a leveling test? Sometimes I don't want one. I hate taking tests. But I do feel like sometimes people get overvalued. Anyway, and feel free to come hang out with me on Twitch anytime. I normally stream on Fridays, but, you know, I might be doing some extra streams here in a little bit. As I work on some stuff for a Go course. I'm working on a Go course for O'Reilly Media. So, yeah, we'll have some fun with that. And I'm glad I could help y'all. I'm also glad you played the drop game. We've had a lot of interaction today, which is killer. Super killer. Yeah. So, in the meantime, how about that Twitter? Elon Musk is now in control. So, what does that mean for Twitter? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I really have no clue. I don't think it's going to change anything. At least for a while. Because Twitter's not some small machine. It's got a lot of employees. But I can say I'm glad that when I interviewed, I didn't get the job. I'm glad they didn't want me. Makes it easier. So, yeah. Cool. Cool. I don't really got much else. You guys have been a blast. So I'm gonna end with, oh look, they're working on open source Python, so we're just gonna end with a raid. Anthony writes code. He is a great streamer. If you've got time, he will answer any questions you have. All of your questions, he will answer. And he's working on open source Python. He's a huge contributor to Python, the Python Center library, and other libraries in Python. So if you have any questions about contributing to open source, getting a job, using Python, he is a great resource. He will help you with all of those. And he answers all the questions. He's a really good streamer. And he wants you to ask them. He wants you to ask all the questions. If you get a chance, come hang out with me at my meetup tomorrow. It'll be at MX in Lehigh, talking about Kubeflow. You can hang out with me on the workshop on Wednesday or at the Utah Go meetup next week. I hope to see you guys on Slack or on Twitter, or on another Twitch stream. So thank you so much for everything, and have a good night.